Chapter number 15, Light. You might have seen a beam of sunlight when it enters a room through a narrow opening or a hole. You may have also seen beams of light from the headlamps of scooters, cars and engines of trains. Similarly, a beam of light can be seen from a torch. Some of you may have seen a beam of searchlight from a lighthouse or from an airport tower. What do these experiences suggest? Bujo recalls light travels along a straight line. Bujo recalls an activity he performed in class 6. In that activity, he looked at a lighted candle first through a straight pipe and then through a bent pipe. Why was Bujo not able to see the candle flame through a bent pipe? This activity showed that light travels along straight lines. How can we change the path of light? Do you know what happens when light falls on a polished or a shiny surface? Reflection of light. One way to change the direction of light is to let it fall on a shiny surface. For example, a shining stainless steel plant or a shining steel spoon can change the direction of light. The surface of water can also act like a mirror and change the path of light. Have you ever seen the reflection of trees or buildings in water? Any polished or a shiny surface can act as a mirror. What happens when light falls on a mirror? You have learnt in class 6 that a mirror changes the direction of light that falls on it. This change of direction by a mirror is called a reflection of light. Can you recall the activity in which you got the light of a torch reflected from a mirror? Let us perform a similar activity. Activity 50.1. Take a torch, cover its glass with a chart paper which has 3 narrow slits as shown in figure 50.5. Spread a sheet of. Paheli remembers the story of the lion and the rabbit from the Panchatantra, in which the rabbit fooled the lion by showing him his reflection in water. Chart paper on a smooth wooden board. Fix a plain mirror strip vertically on the chart paper. Now direct the beam of light on the mirror from the torch with slides. Place the torch in such a way that its light is seen along the chart paper on the board. Now adjust its position so that the light from the torch stacks the plane mirror at an angle. Does the mirror changes the direction of light that falls on it? Now move the torch slightly to either side. Do you find any change in the direction of reflected light? Paheli wants to know what makes things visible to us. Bujo thinks that objects are visible only when light reflected from within reaches our eyes. Do you agree with him? Look into the mirror along the direction of the reflected light. Do you see the slits in the mirror? This is the image of the slits. This activity shows how light gets reflected from a plane mirror. Let us play around with the images formed in mirrors and know a little more about them. Caution. Activity 50.2. Caution. Handle the lighted candle with care. It is better if this activity is performed in the presence of a teacher or an elder person. Place a lighted candle in front of a plain mirror. Try to see the flame of the candle in the mirror. It appears as if a similar candle is placed behind the mirror. The candle which appears behind the mirror is the image of the candle formed by the mirror. The candle itself is the object. Now move the candle to different positions in front of the mirror. Observe the image in each case. Bujo noted in his notebook, it not surprising that my image is of the same size as me, whether the mirror is small or large. Was the image upright? In each case, did the flame appear on top of the candle, as in the object? Such an image is called a ray. An image formed by a plane Mirror is erect and of the same size as the object. Now place a vertical screen behind the mirror. Try to obtain the image of the candle on this screen. Can you get the image on the screen? Now place the screen in front of the mirror. Can you get the image on the screen now? You will find that the image of the candle cannot be obtained on the screen in either case. What about the distance of the image from mirror? Let us perform another activity. Peheli made a note in her notebook in a plain mirror. The image is formed behind the mirror. It is erect of the same size and is at the same distance from the mirror as the object is in front of it. Activity 50.3. Take a chess board. If a chess board is not available, draw on a chart paper 64 8 multiple 8 squares of equal size. Draw a thick line in the middle of the paper. Fix a plain mirror vertically on this line. Place any small object such as a pencil sharpener at the boundary of the third square containing from the mirror. Note the position of the image. Now shift the object to the boundary of the fourth square. Again note the position of the image. Did you find any relation between the distance of the image from the mirror and that of the object in front of it? You will find that the image is at the same distance behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. Now verify this by placing the object anywhere on the chart paper, right or left. When you see your image in a plain mirror, is it exactly like you? Have you ever noticed that there is one interesting difference between you and your image in a mirror? Let us find out. Activity 50.4. Stand in front of a plain mirror and look at your image. Raise your left hand. Which hand does your image raise? Now touch your right ear. Which ear does your hand touch your image? Observe carefully. You will find that in the mirror the right appears left and the left appears right. Note that only sides are interchanged. The image does not appear upside down. Now write down your name on a piece of paper and hold it in front of a plain mirror. How does it appear in the mirror? Bojo saw an ambulance on the road. He was surprised to see that the word ambulance in front was written in a strange manner. Can you now understand why the word ambulance is written as in figure 50.9? When the driver of a vehicle ahead of an ambulance looks in his rear view mirror, see he can read ambulance written on it and give way to it. It is the duty of everyone of us to allow an ambulance to pass without blocking its way. You might have observed that in the side mirror of a scooter or a car, the images of all the objects appear smaller than the objects themselves. Have you ever wondered why is it so? Playing with spherical mirrors. Peheli and Bujo were waiting for their dinner. Bujo lifted a stainless steel plate and saw his image in it. Oh, this plate acts as a plain mirror. My image is erect and each of the same size. Peheli saw her image using the back of a steel by erect image. Through it each smaller in size. This spoon also acts as a mirror of some kind, said Peheli. You can also use a spoon or any curved shining surface to see your image. Activity 50.5. Take a stainless steel spoon. Bring the outer side of the spoon near your face and look into it. Do you see your image in it? Is this image different from what you see in a plain mirror? In a plain mirror, is this image erect in the size of the image? The same, smaller or larger? Similar or larger? Now look at your image using the inner side of the spoon. This time you may find that your image is erect and larger in size. If you increase the distance of the spoon from your face, you may see your image inverted. You can also compare the image of your pen or pencil instead of your face. The curved shining surface of a spoon acts as a mirror. The most common example of a curved mirror is a spherical. Curved mirror is a spherical mirror. If the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is concave, it is called a concave mirror. If the reflecting surface is convex, then it is a convex mirror. Why are concave and convex mirrors called spherical mirrors? Take a rubber ball and cut a portion of it with a knife or a saw blade. Be careful. Ask an elder person to help you in cutting the ball. The inner surface of the cut ball is called concave and the outer surface is called convex. The inner surface of a spoon acts like a concave mirror while its outer surface acts like a convex mirror. We know that the image of an object formed by a plane mirror cannot be obtained on a screen. Let us investigate if it is also true for the image formed by a concave mirror. Activity 15.6 question. You will conduct activity 15.6 in the sunlight. Be careful. Never look as it may damage your eyes. You may look at the image of the sun when it is thrown on a screen or a wall. Take a concave mirror, hold it facing the sun, try to get the light reflected by the mirror or a sheet of paper. Adjust the distance of the paper until you get a sharp, bright spot on it. Hold the mirror and the sheet of paper steady for a few minutes. Does the paper start burning? This bright spot is in fact the image of the sun. Notice that this image is formed on a screen. An image formed on a screen is called a real image. Recollect that in activity 50.2, the image formed by a plane mirror could not be obtained on a screen. Such an image is called a virtual image. Now let us try to obtain on the screen the image of a candle flame formed by a concave mirror. Activity 15.7. Fix a concave mirror on a stand. Any arrangement to keep the mirror steady would do. And place it on a table. Figure 50.15. Paste a piece of white paper on a cardboard set. Say about 50 cm multiple 10 cm. This will act as a screen. Keep a lighted candle on the table at a distance of about 50 cm from the mirror. Try to obtain the image of the flame on the screen. For this, move the screen till a sharp image of the flame is obtained. Make sure that the screen does not obstruct the light from the candle falling on the mirror. Is this image real or virtual? Is it of the same size as the flame? Now move the candle towards the mirror and place it at different distances from it. In each case, try to obtain the image on the screen. Record your observations in table 15.1. Is it possible to obtain the image on the screen when the candle is too close to the mirror? We see that the image formed by a concave mirror can be smaller or larger in size than the object. The image may also be real or virtual. Concave mirrors are used for many purposes. You might have seen doctors using concave mirrors for examining eyes, ears, nose, and throat. Concave mirrors are also used by dentists to see an enlarged image of the teeth. The reflectors of torches, headlights of cars and scooters are concave in shape. Bujo observed his image in the shining surface of the bell on his new bicycle. He found that his image was erect and smaller in size. He wondered if the bell is also a kind of spherical mirror. Can you recognize the type of the mirror? Note that the reflecting surface of the bell is convex. Activity 50.8 repeat activity 50.7 now with a convex mirror in place of a concave mirror. Record your observations in a table similar to table 15.1. Could you get a real image at any distance of the object from the convex mirror? Did you get an image larger in size than the object? Can you now recognize the mirrors used as side mirrors in automobiles? These are convex mirrors. Convex mirrors can form images of objects spread over a large area. So these help the drivers to see the traffic behind them. Images formed by lenses. You might have seen a magnifying glass. It is used to read very small print. You might have also used it to observe the body parts of a cockroach or an earthworm. The magnifying glass is actually a type of lenses. Lenses are widely used in spectacles, telescopes, and microscopes. Try to add a few more uses of lenses to this list. Get some lenses, touch and feel them. Can you find some difference just by touching those lenses which feel thicker in the middle? Then at the edges are convex lenses. Those which feel thinner in the middle then at the edges are concave lenses. Notice that the lenses are transparent and light can pass through them. Caution. Let us play with lenses. Caution. It is dangerous to look through a lens at the sun or a bright light. You should also be careful not to focus sunlight with a convex lens on any part of your body. Activity 15.9. Take a convex lens or a magnifying glass, put it in the path of sunrays, place a sheet of paper as so, adjust the distance between the lenses and the paper till you get a bright spot on the paper. Hold the lenses and the paper in this position for a few minutes. Does the paper begin to burn? Now replace the convex lenses with a concave lenses. Do you see a bright spot on the paper this time? 2. Why are you not getting a bright spot this time? We have seen in the case of mirrors that for different positions of the object, the nature and size of the image change. Is it true for lenses also? Let us find out. Activity 15.10. Take a convex lenses and fix it on a stand as you did with the concave mirror. Place it on a table. Place a lighted candle at a distance of about 50 cm from the lenses. Try to obtain the image. A convex lens converges bends inwards, the length generally falling on it. Therefore, it is called a converging lenses. On the other hand, a concave lens diverges, bends outward. The light and is called a diverging lenses. Of the candle on a paper screen placed on the other side of the lens. You may have to move the screen towards or away from the lens to get a sharp image of the flame. What kind of image did you get? Is it real or virtual? Now vary the distance of the candle from the lens. Try to obtain the image of the candle flame every time on the paper screen by moving it. Record your observations as you did in activity 15.7 for the concave mirror. Did you get in any position of the object an image which was erect and magnified? Could this image be obtained on a screen? Is the image real or virtual? This is how a convex lens is used as a magnifying glass. In a similar fashion, study the images formed by a concave lens. You will find that the image formed by a concave lens is always virtual, erect, and smaller in size than the object. Sunlight, white or colored. Have you ever seen a rainbow in the sky? You might have noticed that it appears usually after the rain. When the sun is low in the sky, the rainbow is seen as a large arc in the sky with many colors. How many colors are present in a rainbow? When observed carefully, there are 7 colors in a rainbow. Though it may not be easy to distinguish all of them. These are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Does this mean that the white light consists of 7 colors? You might have seen that when you blow soap bubbles, they appear colorful. Similarly, when light is reflected from the surface of a compact disk, you see many colors. On the basis of these experiences, could we say that the sunlight is a mixture of different colors? Let us investigate. Activity 50.11. Take a glass prism. Allow a narrow beam of sunlight through a small hole in the window of a dark room to fall on one face of the prism. Let the light coming out of the outer face of the prism fall on. Paheli wants to tell you that you can see a rainbow only when you back it towards the sun. A white sheet of paper or on a white wall. What do you observe? Do you see colors similar to those in a rainbow? This shows that the sunlight consists of 7 colors. The sunlight is said to be white light. This means that the white light consists of 7 colors. Try to identify these colors and write their names in your notebook. Can we mix these colors to get white light? Let us try. Activity 50.2. Take a circular cardboard disc of about 10 cm diameter. Divide this disc into 7 segments. Paint the 7 rainbow colors on these segments as shown in figure. You can also paste colored papers on these segments. Make a small hole at the center of the disc. Fix the disc loosely on the tip of a refill of a ball pen. Ensure that the disc rotates freely. Rotate the disc in the daylight. When the disc is rotated fast, the colors get mixed together and the disc appears to be whitish. Such a disc is popularly known as Newton's disc. Paheli has a brilliant idea. She has prepared a small top with a small circular disc with 7 rainbow colors painted on it. When the top rotates, it appears nearly white.